And we're very fortunate to have with us His Holiness Devamrita Swami. Thank you. So we're very fortunate that we just have back-to-back visits with him. It is really inspiring for those of you who have been continuously attending the programs online and in person. Maharaj has dedicated his life to this mission that Srila Prabhupada had brought over to the United States. He has gone through many, many difficult countries where there was absolutely or almost no presence of Krishna. And he has opened up many, many countries where hundreds, if not thousands of people are now taking up the practice of bhakti. And this happens because Maharaj carries this deep flame of bhakti in his heart. Wherever he goes, he's inspiring people. And we're very fortunate that he's here with us today. And I'm going to request you, who here does not have a cell phone? Thank you. So if you have one of those devices, if you could kindly please put it on silent. And if you have any little kids, you can see if there's a mute button to them as well, so that we can actually have some undivided attention given during this class. His Holiness Devamrita Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Just three more things. He's also the GBC, the governing body for Atlanta and many other temples and states in the United States, which means he is the ultimate spiritual and managing authority of ISKCON in the States. And that is a very big service because there's always so many issues come up and he's always there giving a very compassionate and loving, kind attention to these issues. And he is a traveling Diksha Guru. Diksha Guru, some of you are familiar, some of you are not. That means that he is officially accepting disciples all over the world to guide them in their spiritual journey back to Godhead. He is representing Srila Prabhupada. So, are we clear? Just wanted to make sure you understand those technicalities, because some of you, will want to get initiated and are already aspiring from him. So you have to understand how the system works within ISKCON. So let's welcome Maharaj again.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Janmashtami Janmashtami Gopi Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Today is a wonderful day for starting to meditate on Sri Krishna Janmashtami, the appearance day of the Lord Sri Krishna. We can prepare ourselves by thinking and meditating upon how inconceivable it is that Krishna appears in this world. It's so inconceivable that many become bewildered. What is going on? Is this really the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Can Krishna really appear in this world? Why should he appear in this world? We can first turn to the prayers by Queen Kunti Devi in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. She describes how Krishna's appearance is very confusing for so many persons. First of all, he seems to just perform the activities of an ordinary human being. Although he does those so-called ordinary activities in such an inconceivable way, still his Nara-lila, his human-like pastimes, can bewilder you. Not only that, but he seems to be partial to some. He seems to favor some and act inimically to others. And look at all the different forms that the Supreme Personality of Godhead takes when he comes to this world. He can take the form of an animal like Lord Varahadev, the boar, Keshavadrita Sukara Rupa Jai Jagadisha. He can take the form of a sage, Narayan Rishi. He can take the form of a fish, Matsya Avatar. So Queen Kunti Devi says, this is all confusing for some persons. Furthermore, Krishna is unborn. How is it that the unborn can take birth? It's a paradox. Not only there is that paradox of the unborn taking birth, but also, why is Krishna so active? When from one point of view, he's the ultimate inactive person. Inactive in that he has nothing to achieve, nothing he needs. He's totally self-sufficient. So then why, if someone is totally self-sufficient and has no need to do anything, why does he do something? So the list of paradoxes goes on and on. And then Kunti Devi starts to wonder about the Damodar Leela. When Kartik month comes, we celebrate that Leela especially. Krishna apparently becomes the plaything in the hands of Mother Yashoda, who binds him with a rope. So Kunti Devi is wondering, how can this be? Fear itself is afraid of Krishna, yet Krishna is showing that he's afraid of Mother Yashoda's stick. What's going on here? And then about his appearance, his descent into this world. Avatar means that which comes down. Of course, the word avatar has been misappropriated for so many video games. But the precise meaning of avatar, the Sanskrit word is that which comes down, just like an elevator coming down from the top floor to the ground floor. So Kunti Devi is saying that, what's the reason for your appearance? We accept that the Supreme Personality of Godhead can come, can appear in this world, but what's the reason? And she goes down a list, a checklist. Well, some say he comes because of his desire to glorify the pious kings. Because the welfare of humanity depends on good government. Good government means a government that knows what it's doing and who it's doing it for. A good government understands that the human beings are spirit souls with a special mission in life due to the advanced human consciousness. So a good government facilitates the path of enlightenment for the human beings. So therefore, the heads of state are most important. They're supposed to know what they're doing, unlike today. So Kunti Devi says, some say that you come to glorify the competent, pious executive heads of state. Just like Yudhisthira Maharaj, who's known as Punya Shloka. He's glorified by pious verses composed and spoken in his glorification. Others say, she continues, others say that because Lord Brahma called for you. When there is a problem in the universe, if the demigods, the devatas can't solve it, they approach Lord Brahma. If Lord Brahma can't solve it, he goes to the Chirodaka, to the ocean of milk, and there he appeals from the core of his heart for the incarnation of the Supreme Lord to come. Now, in the case of Krishna and his apparent janma, his apparent birth or appearance, that's not actually the appearance of an avatar. When Krishna comes, that is the avatari, the source of all the avatars. What else does Kunti point out? Could be possible reasons for the appearance of Lord Krishna. What about Vasudeva and Devaki? He became their son. Maybe it's because of their prayers, their desires in their previous Sutapa and Prishni. They performed austerities to have the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son. And now that desire is being fulfilled in their lifetime as Vasudeva and Devaki. So some say that's the reason. And then Queen Kunti says, could it be that the reason for Krishna's appearance is to revive the process of hearing and chanting about Krishna so that the devotees can break free from the cycle of repeated birth and death? So the acharyas point out that's the real reason. Krishna is creating content. It is said in the internet industry that content is king. Krishna is the ultimate content creator. He knows how to act in such a way as to capture your attention, so much so that you lose your attraction for material existence. The acharyas point out this is the real reason for Krishna's appearance. Other reasons, they're valid, but the key reason is this. Bhavesmin klishyamanano avidya karma bhi. We're attached to kama, to material desire, because of avidya, because of ignorance. And that material desire, the kama, next leads to karma, material activities. The ultimate source of this illusion is avidya, ignorance. So Kunti Devi says, you've come to revive the process of hearing and chanting so that devotees can break free from this chain of ignorance, material desire, material activities. If we look at the end of the 9th canto, I wonder how many of you have studied chapter 24, the last chapter of the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the prelude to the 10th canto, which, as you know, is Krishna's smiling face. So in the last verses of the last chapter of the 9th canto, you get another insight into why Krishna comes. Shukadeva Goswami explains that appearance of Krishna and its causes into 2 departments. Number 1, how Krishna's coming into this world benefits those who are present at the time he comes, and also how his coming to this world benefits the devotees in the future. A prime example about how Krishna benefits those in his time frame, so to speak. Although Krishna is beyond time, in fact, as he says in Bhagavad Gita, Kalosmi, I am time. Time is his manifestation. But those who are present, when Krishna is present to ordinary vision, they obviously benefit, even though many of them don't understand what they're looking at. They don't understand that they're looking at the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Swayam Bhagavan. Many think he's just a devata, demigod. Many others think he's the most powerful person on the planet, like the greatest athlete. Very few understand he is Swayam Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But still, everyone who interacts with Krishna during his presence for ordinary vision, everyone benefits incalculably. Even the demons, even the asuras benefit, if they are killed personally by Krishna. This shows how Krishna is impartial. No matter how you come in contact with Krishna, you benefit, even if it means your life is terminated. So who here can be so impartial and so beneficial to anyone, everyone, that even if they come before you and you cut off their head, still they have benefited incalculably? Only Krishna can do that. And how do the demons benefit in a way that can't be estimated? By their being terminated by Krishna, they are freed from the cycle of repeated birth and death. They're liberated. So whatever Krishna does, and however someone comes in contact with Krishna, they can only benefit. Just like the sun is shining, everyone can benefit from the sunshine. But if you put on sunglasses and cover yourself with a big hat so the sun doesn't touch you, that's not the fault of the sun. The sun is shining for everyone. But you have restricted yourself from receiving the benefit of the sun. But that's not the sun's fault. So Krishna spreads his radiance everywhere, just like the sun. And whoever allows themselves to be touched by the Krishna sun, the rays from the Krishna sun, everyone benefits. Even if you're such a ferocious, extraordinary demon that Krishna has to kill you, still you benefit extraordinarily. So Shukadeva Goswami, at the end of the 9th canto, points out that those who were present during the time of Krishna's appearance, they get mercy. But also, number 2, the second category, those who will take birth in the age of Kali, that means us, will also be benefited by Krishna's appearance 5,000 years ago. What is that? By Krishna's pastimes, his Leela, he creates content for us to think about, even in the middle of Kali Yuga. And by thinking about and remembering Krishna's pastimes, we no longer see repeated birth and death. So Krishna is merciful to everyone throughout all 3 phases of time, past, present, and future. He acts in such a way that even someone in the dense darkness of Kali Yuga, this present distorted age, even such a person, by hearing about Krishna's activities, can attain the supreme destination. So we've been discussing how Krishna's birth is perplexing, because Krishna is unborn. Of course, you are also unborn. Although you like your birthday celebrated, you are unborn. As Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Ajo Nicham Shashvata Yam Parana. You're unborn, no beginning, no end. That is the nature of the spirit soul. But because we're identifying with the body as the self, we've forgotten our spiritual identity, which is indestructible. I've been explaining at programs the past few days about how actually everyone longs for immortality. How is that? You long for enjoyment and happiness that goes on and on and on. That means you're longing for immortality. Specifically, you're longing to be indestructible, which is impossible for you to have in material existence. But we're so foolish, we look for indestructibility and unstoppable happiness and satisfaction. We look for that on the material plane because we are actually spirit soul. It is the nature of the spirit soul to be absorbed in eternality, full knowledge, and full bliss. But we have made the mistake of seeking to express that desire for indestructibility through the material world. That is our mistake. The right goal, but we're going about it completely the wrong way. So you can just see yourself how you would love to have happiness that doesn't have an interruption. Maybe you tell yourself that I don't mind an interruption or an end to my happiness as long as I can be happy for a long time. But you'll notice the way this world is constructed, the way the body is constructed, there's always interruption, impediments, blockages, and they come too soon. So we need to learn how to express our spiritual urges properly. By expressing them through the material energy, we simply meet frustration. As Queen Kunti says, Bhavesmin Klishyamananam Avijja Kama Karmavi. We exhaust ourselves searching for unbreakable, unstoppable happiness and satisfaction on the material level. So how can Krishna's appearance in this world, his so-called birth, Janmashtami, how can that help us? You are all practical persons. You're working, you have businesses, you have homes. You're invested in the material world. How can Krishna's Janmashtami help you? What does Krishna say in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? Janma karma chavejivyam evam yo veti tattvata. If you, Krishna says, can understand the mystery of his janma, how the unborn takes birth, and the mystery of his karma, the activities of someone who has nothing to achieve, nothing to do, and there's no karmic reaction for whatever Krishna does. If you can understand that in truth, evam yo veti tattvata, if you can understand the divine nature of Krishna's janma and his karma, then chaptva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. Krishna speaking to Arjuna, upon your giving up the present body, you won't take another body. Mam eti, you'll go to Krishna. So real spirituality, real religion means to know what it's all about, to go to Krishna. That means you understand Krishna's name, form, qualities, activities. You understand his abode. You understand how he's all-pervading also. All those things are known to you. That's knowing Krishna in truth. Many can say, oh, I believe in God. But when we ask you, give us a full explanation of what is God, very little can be said. God is the creator. God is the maintainer. God is the destroyer. But when you read Srimad Bhagavatam, the greatest science of the Supreme, you find out that creation, maintenance, and destroying are so subordinate activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead that he delegates those activities to expansions of expansions of expansions of himself. Krishna is not directly the creator. He's not directly the maintainer. He's not directly the destroyer. He has his plenary expansions and portions of plenary portions. They take care of all that. What does Krishna simply do? He simply enjoys. As I've often explained, Krishna always carries a flute. Why? To show that he is all play and no work. That's in case you wonder, why does Krishna carry a flute? He's always carefree. But we are so cold-hearted. We want to make the Supreme Personality of Godhead work. What are you going to create? What are you going to maintain? What are you going to destroy? We go to work. Why don't you go to work? In other words, we're envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore we think, oh, hearing about what Krishna does is mythological. His pastimes, his Leela, it's interesting to hear, but it can't be true. But our foolish endeavors to enjoy the material world, well, that is very truthful. That is reality. So as Janmashtami, Sri Krishna Janmashtami approaches, we can start to deepen our thoughts about Krishna's coming to this world. As you know, sometimes people say, why should God come? Why not? You're here. If I ask, why should you come to this world? You won't know what to say. But you do know that God shouldn't come. I'm here, I don't know why I'm here, but God shouldn't come here. Or I should pray to God while I'm here that he should give me all the money and all the happiness that I want. Even though I don't know why I'm here. I don't know where I'll go after I leave here, but please God, give me everything. You know the mantra, the prayer. Oh God, give me Lakshmi, 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 and a house by the sea. Jai Jagadishari. Right? Sri Krishna Janmashtami is a chance to think more about Krishna and how Krishna connects with you, relates to you. He's coming to show his pastimes, his Leela, to capture your attention. So Shukadeva Goswami points this out at the end of the 9th canto. Krishna knows Kali Yuga is coming. Krishna appeared right at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, and the next Yuga is Kali. So Krishna knows the people in Kali Yuga will be so unfortunate, so bewildered. They have no idea of what is real human progress. They're destroying themselves, they're destroying their environment, they're torturing one another psychologically, economically, politically. But if they pay attention to my pastimes, Krishna is telling us, they can cross over all the miseries of Kali Yuga. Hearing about Krishna is like being in the boat that can cross the fiercest ocean. So you may recall from the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and I hope everyone in this room, or almost everyone in this room, has a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam in their home. Anyone who doesn't? Can you raise your hand? You don't have a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam? 1, 2, 3. Do something about that before Sri Krishna Janmashtami. By acquiring a full set of Srimad Bhagavatam, you have Krishna in your home as the literary incarnation. It'll make such a difference for your household. So in the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami asserts to Maharaj Parikshit that in this dense darkness of the age of Kali, there's only one good thing. Now you can try to think of so many good things about this present day and age. What would you say? Tell me a good thing, a material good thing, something you think is good. PlayStation? Huh? Technology. What technology in particular? Huh? Cell phone. You couldn't live without it, right? It makes you so happy, right? Always, even when you're walking down the street. What would you do if your mother took your cell phone away? You would try to run away. But then you think, I can't run away because I don't have my phone. Don't you understand? So many people are pointing out today how this technology has actually been a negative, not a positive. People are so lonely because they're associating through social media. Do you do that? You have your friends on social media? Yes. People think that these social media connections are real relationships that provide the substance and depth of personal communication, when actually they don't. And people are becoming more lonely than ever, even though there's the technology, even though there's the social media. How many of you remember at the dawn of the social media 20 years ago? What were the promises? It'll help democracy. Everyone can express their opinion. It'll bring people together more because they can easily connect to one another. Does any of that happen? No. People are becoming more crazy than ever. And they think, because I'm on social media, I have so many friends. This is the nature of the age of Kali, the age of darkness. What you think is progress is actually killing you. So what do you think? What did children do your age before there were cell phones? How could they live? They had their friends nearby. So they managed to survive. You can go through every so-called innovation in the age of Kali and always find a downside. It always, as Prahlad Maharaj says, the solution is worse than the problem. So anyway, we're talking about Shukadeva Goswami presenting to Maharaj Parikshit that Asti Eko Mahanguna, there's only one good thing in the age of Kali. If you're looking for something else that's good, you're in illusion. What is that only one good thing? Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Bhajan. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, you can solve all your problems. You can cross over the ocean of repeated birth and death. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna. That's the only good thing. But we are determined we're going to find something else, right? And that is our foolishness. So as Sri Krishna Janmashtami approaches, let us try to understand the glories of Krishna's appearance. Let's go beyond just a tradition that's been handed down to us by the grandparents. let's try to understand the science of Krishna. Evam yoveti tattvataha. Let's try to understand the tattva. The scientific truth that's so enthralled, so fascinated Queen Kunti Devi, and she's Krishna's aunt. Krishna touches her feet. But she's thinking, who really is this person? In the role of my nephew, but he's a supreme personality of Godhead. Why is he here? Why does he come? Some say this, some say that. But remember what she settled upon as the real reason, the real principle for Krishna's appearance. That is to revive the process of hearing and chanting about Krishna so that we can cross over the ocean of the material struggle. Krishna is giving you content. He's giving you the Krishna media. So Sri Krishna Janmashtami is a chance for us to increase our attachment for hearing about Krishna, engaging in Krishna's service. This temple is a place for hearing and talking about Krishna, singing about Krishna, dancing about Krishna, taking food that's been offered to Krishna, everything Krishna-centric. So as Janmashtami approaches, let's try to go deeper into our understanding of Krishna. Make a vow to do that, and your life will become successful. Hare Krishna. Are there any questions?
Don't be shy. Maharaj will not be coming back until spring of 2024, so ask your questions now.
Yes.
So they can hear you.
So, isn't Krishna supposed to be an avatar of Vishnu?
That is a common misunderstanding, which can be cleared up just by a careful reading of Bhagavad Gita. You've read Bhagavad Gita? Remember the verse, Mata Parataram Nanya Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya. Oh, Dhananjaya, Arjuna, there's nothing beyond me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. When Krishna says nothing beyond him, that means not Brahman, not Narayan, not Vishnu. Nothing is beyond Krishna. So Vishnu is an expansion of an expansion of an expansion of Krishna for the purpose of maintaining the material world. But we may think, oh, Vishnu is the ultimate because Vishnu is doing work that we can identify with. He's creating, he's maintaining. Whereas Krishna, how can he be the ultimate? He just plays a flute with the most beautiful women and plays with the most wonderful boyfriends, cowherd boys. We like to reverse everything. Still, if you call Krishna Vishnu, if you say Vishnu is the ultimate, it's not the worst thing you can do. Because Krishna contains Vishnu. But if you want a more precise understanding, you should know, as Krishna himself explains in Bhagavad Gita, Swayam Bhagavan, Krishna, the original personality of God, it is the ultimate. Nothing beyond Krishna. His two-handed form, that is the ultimate. Lord Brahma gives the example that you light one candle, and with that lit candle, you can light so many other candles. All the candles are equal in power. But still, there's the original candle. Govindam Adi Purusham Dhammam Bhajami. Adi Purusha, the original. Okay? Very good question. So now you'll chant Hare Krishna? Okay. Anything else?
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Did any of you here know that Maharaj has authored several books? Raise your hand if you know he authored several books. Raise your hand if you didn't know he authored several books. Okay, fantastic. So Shastrakrit Prabhu is a full-time Grihastha book distributor. He goes out and distributes books, and now he is training the brahmacharis here in Atlanta to distribute books.
Haribo.
Srila Prabhupada said that book distribution is our family business. So Shastrakrit Prabhu is making sure the family business is being run properly. Are the books here? Maharaj's books? And Maharaj mentioned that for Krishna Janmashtami you must have a case of Srimad Bhagavatam in your house. Who does not have a Srimad Bhagavatam, raise your hand. So you're ready to buy a Srimad Bhagavatam today? Shraddha Prabhu has how many? He just got 5 sets for Janmashtami. And you can pay it in installments. Who doesn't have Srimad Bhagavatam? Raise your hand. Who is shy? Vinodji, you need a case of Srimad Bhagavatam. Maharaj will sign it for you. Okay, he has. Anyone else here doesn't have a set of Srimad Bhagavatam? Are you being shy? Okay. So Maharaj is here. This book, Hiding an Unnatural Happiness, is being sold all over the world now, that I'm told. And more than 500,000 or 1 million copies?
600,000.
We are at 600,000 copies being sold. And because this book is in serious need, if you have a friend who is American, you live in this country, you want to know how to present your culture to them, you read this book, you'll get all the pointers, everything you need to know in a small read on how to talk to your friends who are native in this country. So who does not have the book in your house? So everyone has the book in their house? Who would like to have the book in your house? Please come, Maharaj will sign it. Anyone else needs the book? What's the donation? Shastrakrit Prabhu says free. There is no maximum and minimum is?
Well, all the donation goes to spreading Krishna consciousness. Maharaj is spreading Krishna consciousness.
Okay, the donation goes back to spreading Krishna consciousness.
So give generously.
So give generously, Shastrakrit Prabhu said. Okay, please come, Prabhu. Anyone else who would like a copy of the book, please come.